Hey, welcome back to Big Board. It seems like I've recorded a lot of videos the last couple of days, 3 or 4 actually, so this will be my 5th one, I believe. But you haven't seen most of them yet because they're all on the stack and ready to be scheduled for you and fun stuff like that. All right, so Rebel Fury, playing the Fredericksburg scenario. It's the introductory scenario to kind of get you familiar with the system, and B, it's a battle I'm interested in because I may potentially be going, well, I am going to Annapolis in May, and I'll have a car, and I'm hoping to hit some battlefields that I have not seen yet, and this may be one of them. I'm not sure if there's a lot to be seen along the ridge here, but my understanding is that's still intact, as they say. So I did a little bit of reading because, you know, me and the American Civil War, we're not particularly well acquainted with each other, but this was in essence Burnside's first major engagement, I believe, in December 1862, December 12, or it's actually December 10, 11, 12, 13. Where this battle picks up, where this scenario picks up, I should say, is that it's Burnside has surprised Lee and reached Fredericksburg quicker than Lee expected. There was a forced march, I would call it a forced march, basically, or an extended march, or a quick step march, or whatever the case may be. And Burnside got his troops down to the Rappahannock River pretty quickly, but all the bridges were blown, and so they had to put pontoons up. And so the Confederates, fought in the town and along the river line here and slowed things down a little bit, allowing Lee to get some forces in, and then he retreated up into the hill. Burnside then dilly-dallied. That's a very not often used military term, dilly-dally. In any case, he delayed crossing in force, and this allowed Lee to build fairly extensive, I won't call them fortifications, but defenses, breastworks and something akin to that, which are represented all along this ridgeline. So that's kind of the context. Then, unfortunately for Burnside, he attacked piecemeal across the line here, and the net of the battle was that Burnside retreated back across the river to lick his wounds and took 17,000 casualties. Well, I shouldn't say that. There were 17,000 casualties over the couple of days, the 12th, 13th, and the majority of those were for the Union, unfortunately. So, pretty deadly battle, probably one of the deadlier battles in the early parts of the war, I'm guessing, just based on the numbers. Lee was significantly outnumbered here. As you can just tell by the, looking at the board, we can see the volume of units that are here. Getting them all into the battle and into the game may be a little bit of a challenge in 3 turns to see what happens. So the goal of so for this particular scenario, I think, let me just see if I can show you this battle, if we've got, now I lost my page. Stand by. Here we go. So here's this is what happened on December 11th. I'm just going to hold that still for a second so you can look at it and have a little squiz. You can see the pontoons were established across the river into Fredericksburg and whatnot. And there's the bigger strategic picture is 1 page back on page 57. So you can see that here. And I'll also hold that still so you can have a look at it. Now, I am sure that 90% of the people who are watching are ACW fans and will probably disagree with some of the content in this book, but for me it's great because it's pictorial and summary level, and I can get a feel for what's going on and then grab one of my handful of other volumes on the war and look at detail if I want to, or just read darn good designer notes and battle notes in some of the other systems that are around. There you can see midday on December 13th. I'm going to hold that still. And here's where I was saying that they were advancing piecemeal. So you had Meade attack and get bounced back, then Gibbon attacked and bounced back. And then later on, Sumner attacked Longstreet's section of the line up in the heights, and then that's kind of the summary of the after battle. Probably not very easy to read. I'm not going to mess around with zooming in, but there you go. All right, so what do we need to do in this particular scenario to win as the Union in 3 turns? And this is kind of solo mode. The Confederates are not really going to move. They're not going to attack per se. Oh, at least in the first turn, I should say. So there's that. And in the second turn and third turn, the Union can move because they've got some forces here that need to come onto the map. So clearly they will want to be moving. I've set everybody up in battle formation since figuring they're going to get attacked pretty much off the bat. And so we'll leave them in that mode. The red blocks indicate that I need to capture 4 of those 6 hexes to achieve a strategic victory. And if I don't do that, I lose. And I believe that that is how things will probably play out in any case, is that the Confederates will win this battle fairly conveniently. Excuse me. All right. So we've got a swag of forces here. We've got... let's see. Well, here's Burnside is here, and then I've got the 9th here, 6th to the left of the screen, and then 3rd Corps here. We can see Meade and Sickles and whatnot. And then we've got 5th Corps as well, and then there's some forces off map that need to come on, including some cavalry. And the defensive guys, Lee has got Hill and I believe, what is this guy's name? Teleferro coming onto the map. And then Hood, Pickett, McLaws, and Anderson, Ransom are all situated up on the heights here. I'd be interested to see how high that actually is. I'd be curious to see what the situation actually was, what the height of the defenses were. All right, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go move units now. I get 19 moves with the infantry units. Well, with the units for the Union in the first turn. So we'll get to do some maneuver, probably get some units across the map and into position to do some attacking, and we'll see what we can do. Looks like there might be an opportunity to move up into the heights here and potentially do a flanking attack on Hood at the southern end of the line. North is this angled direction, and south is that way. But just for your own recognition there. And then you've got the Fredericksburg, Fredericksburg, Potomac Railroad here as a reference point for those that don't know the terrain very well. And we'll see what happens from there. I'd be curious to see what the Confederates can actually do in terms of damage or trouble to the enemy. And we'll kind of take it from there. All right, all the best.